The jungle planet was quiet, but the silence was not peaceful. Every sound carried through the thick air, every rustle, every snap of a branch, every deep growl from far off. The research team had set up camp near a river, surrounded by trees and glowing vines. It was meant to be a simple mission: gather samples, scan the land, and leave in 2 weeks. Liam was one of the younger members of the team. He wasn't a scientist like the others. He was a field scout trained to move ahead, map the terrain, and keep watch. He liked the night. It felt calm, even with the strange sounds all around. That night, Liam sat inside his small tent, the soft hum of his data pad keeping him company. The others were asleep in their own tents, or resting inside the main camp dome. Liam had chosen to sleep on the edge, close to the trees. It gave him a better view of the forest. The air grew colder. Fog rolled in low over the ground. Suddenly, a soft sound broke through the quiet: a footstep. Not heavy like a soldier's boot, light, almost silent. Liam paused. His fingers hovered over his light switch. Then, the tent flap moved. Before he could reach for his weapon, someone slipped inside. It was fast, smooth. Liam froze. A girl, a young alien, was kneeling just inside the tent. Her skin was pale with a soft shimmer, like moonlight on water. Her long hair hung around her shoulders, and her eyes, bright silver, looked straight at Liam. She was breathing fast, scared. Her body shook. Liam didn't speak at first, neither did she. Then, in a voice soft and unsure, she said, "Your scent, it tames the beast." He blinked. "What?" She crawled closer. Her hands and knees trembled. She pointed to the trees behind them. "It followed me. I ran. It hunts my kind. But it stopped. It smelled you, and it turned away." Liam didn't know what to say. She wasn't attacking. She wasn't armed. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. Slowly, she curled up beside him, her body pressing against his. She sighed, her breath shaky but soft. Then she whispered, "Let me stay, please." Outside, Liam heard something, a growl, deep and low. Branches snapped somewhere in the forest. Whatever it was big, heavy, moving close. Liam reached for his weapon, but the growl faded. Whatever the creature was, it stopped at the edge of the trees, then turned away. Inside the tent, the alien girl had already fallen asleep. Her hands were curled under her chin. Her breathing slowed. Her body relaxed like she had found safety. Liam sat there for a long time. He didn't move. He just watched her sleep, confused and alert at the same time. Who was she? What was chasing her? And how could his scent protect her? He didn't sleep much that night. When morning came, soft light filtered through the tent fabric. Liam stretched his arms carefully, trying not to wake the girl. But her eyes were already open, watching him. "What's your name?" Liam asked gently. She thought. For a moment. "Kaylani." "I'm Liam," he said. Kayla, and I gave a small nod. "You're human." "Yeah, I never saw one before," she said, her voice quiet. "But you smell like home, like peace. The beast, it smells fear, blood, sorrow. But not you." Liam frowned. "What beast?" She looked down. "A cursed one. It hunts at night. It finds us by scent. But not you." Liam helped her sit up and offered her a small water pouch. She drank carefully. Her hands still shook. She was clearly hungry, weak, and had been running for a long time. Later that morning, Liam led her carefully into the camp. His team stared as he approached with an alien girl beside him. The commander raised an eyebrow but didn't stop them. Instead, she asked, "Who is she?" "Her name is Kaylani," Liam answered. "She's being hunted, and somehow, I think I kept her safe." The team didn't know what to do, but they agreed she could stay for now. Liam gave her food, water, and a blanket. The jungle still echoed with strange sounds, but Kaylani stayed close to him. She seemed calmer near him. That night, when the growl returned from the trees, it didn't come close to Liam's tent. And once again, Kaylani curled up beside him, her head resting on his chest, as if she belonged there. Liam woke early, the soft rise and fall of Kaylani's breath still against his chest. The morning light filled the tent, But he didn't move right away. He just watched her sleep. Calm now, as if the night's fear had faded. He gently shifted, and she opened her eyes slowly, blinking up at him. "You stayed," she whispered. "Of course," he said with a small smile. "You looked like you needed rest." Kaylani sat up and stretched. She still looked tired, but better than the night before. Her skin glowed faintly in the morning light, and her silver eyes scanned the tent before settling back on him. Outside, the camp was waking up. The rest of the research team prepared equipment, cooked breakfast, and updated logs. When Liam and Kaylani stepped out of the tent, heads turned again. Some stared, some whispered. But no one spoke against her presence. The commander, a firm woman named Captain Jules, stood nearby watching. Liam walked over with Kaylani beside him. "Report." Jules said, "Her name is Kaylani. She says something in the forest is hunting her kind. It's big, strong, and tracks by scent. She thinks, for some reason, my scent hides her." Jules looked at Kaylani with a thoughtful gaze. "Is that true?" Kaylani nodded. "Your people smell different, clean, not touched by the forest. The beast does not notice you." "What beast?" Jules asked. "We call it the Lost One," Kaylani said. "It was once like us, but something changed it. Now, it hunts all it sees. It walks on two legs like you, but its face is no longer kind." The team grew quiet. Jules gave a short nod. "She stays for now. Liam, keep her near you, and stay alert." Liam nodded. Kaylani gave a small bow and thanks. The day passed slowly. Liam showed Kaylani round the camp, helping her feel safe. She touched every strange tool with curiosity: data pads, scanners, cooking gear. She was gentle and quiet, but her eyes were full of questions. They sat under a shade tree for lunch. Liam offered her a ration bar, and she bit into it carefully. "What does your people eat?" he asked. "Roots, fruits, sometimes fish. Nothing that cries," she answered simply. Liam laughed a little. "This bar might be too dry for you," she smiled faintly. Then her expression turned serious. "You must not leave me tonight." "I wasn't planning to," Liam replied. "The beast grows bold," she whispered. "I feel it coming closer." Later that afternoon, the scanners picked up strange movement in the jungle. Trees shifted when there was no wind. Shadows passed across the edges of the camp. The team raised their alert level. Guards doubled. Weapons were readied. Liam's tent was moved closer to the center, and Kaylani stayed by his side. As night fell, the jungle grew still again. The team sat in silence, listening. And then they heard a low growl, distant but clear, not from a small animal, not from anything they had seen before. "Contact in Sector 4, a guard called out over the radio. Jules responded, "Eyes up, everyone." The growl came again, deeper this time, almost like a voice trying to speak but to twist it to form words. Kaylani pressed herself against Liam, trembling. "It's here." Liam held her close and whispered, "You're safe." The creature moved closer to the perimeter but didn't cross it. Floodlights caught glimpses of a tall shape with long arms and dark skin stretched to tight over bones. Its eyes glowed red in the light, and it sniffed the air like a hunter. But when it reached Liam's tent, it stopped. It sniffed again and backed away. It walked the edges, but it never came close to Liam or Kaylani. After some time, it disappeared into the trees again, silent. The camp remained on alert all night, but no attack came. In the tent, Kaylani sat close to Liam, her head resting against his shoulder. "It smelled you," she said softly, "and it was confused. It didn't see me." Liam looked at her. "Do you think it will come back?" She nodded slowly. "Yes, it always does." Liam didn't sleep much. Again, he watched the tent entrance, holding his small rifle across his lap. Kaylani dozed beside him, safe under his watch. In the morning, Jules called a team meeting. "We need to understand what this thing is," she said. "If her story is true, we're sitting in the middle of its hunting ground." Kaylani spoke. "I know where it came from. If you help me, I can show you. But we must go soon, before the beast forgets its fear." Liam met Jules's eyes. "I'll go with her," he said. Jules nodded. Gear up. Take someone else with you. Liam glanced at Kaylani, who gave him a quiet smile. We'll find it, she said. And maybe we can stop it. Liam packed light. Just what he needed: scanner, light rifle, water, and his small medkit. Kaylani stood nearby, watching him with calm eyes. Her long hair was tied back now, and someone from the camp had given her a jacket to wear over her simple clothes. It hung loosely on her shoulders, but she looked ready. Captain Jules had allowed a second person to go with them. A quiet young engineer named Claire volunteered. She had sharp eyes and steady hands, and she didn't ask many questions. She nodded to Liam as they left camp, walking into the jungle with Kaylani guiding them. The trees grew denser as they moved. Vines hung from the branches, and strange glowing bugs floated in the air like tiny stars. Kaylani walked with confidence, her feet barely making a sound on the ground. You know this path? Claire asked. Kaylani nodded. My people lived near here, before the beast came. As they walked, Liam noticed something strange. The deeper they went, the quieter the jungle became. Not silent, just still. Like the animals knew something dangerous walked nearby. How long ago did the beast appear? Liam asked. Many cycles ago, Kaylani said. He was once my brother, Liam. And Claire stopped walking. Your brother? Liam asked softly. Kaylani turned, her voice steady but sad. His name was Orin. He was strong and kind. He was chosen to protect our people. But one day, he entered the ancient ruins alone. When he came back, he had changed. Claire frowned. What kind of ruins? Kaylani pointed ahead. A forgotten place. Our elders said never to go there. Something sleeps inside. Orin didn't listen. He thought he could gain power to stop the hunters who threatened us. Liam looked at her carefully. He was cursed. Yes, she said. The ruin twisted him, took his mind, made his body strong but filled him with pain. Now he hunts without memory. Claire shook her head slowly. And you think we can help him? Kaylani's voice dropped to a whisper. I have hope. They continued on, climbing over roots and stepping through thick brush. Soon, they reached a clearing. In the center stood stone pillars, cracked and covered in moss. Symbols glowed faintly on the surface, shapes neither Liam nor Claire could read. This is the place, Kaylani said, her voice trembling. Liam scanned the area. No signs of recent activity, but the air felt heavy, like something watched them. What happened here? Claire asked. Kaylani stepped forward. There's a chamber below. Orin went inside. He didn't come out the same. Liam followed her carefully. They found stairs made of stone, half covered in plants. They descended slowly into a dark tunnel. The deeper they went, the colder the air became. The walls were marked with more symbols. Some looked like eyes, others like sharp claws. They reached a wide room. In the center was a broken altar. Strange dust covered the floor, and in the walls were deep claw marks. Kaylani knelt by the altar. This is where the change happened. Liam touched the wall gently. What are these markings? Warnings, Kaylani said. But Orin couldn't read them. He only saw power. Claire walked slowly along the edge of the room, flashlight pointed at the walls. These symbols look like some kind of energy, like a trap. Kaylani stood. I believe we can reverse it, but only if we get close to him, and only if he does not smell me. Liam understood now. So that's why you stay close to me. My scent hides yours. Kaylani nodded. Yes, I felt it the moment I met you. Your scent is calm. It covers mine like a blanket. They left the ruins and returned to the jungle. The sky was starting to darken, and the air carried that same deep growl from far away. He's near, Kaylani whispered. Do we head back? Claire asked. No, Kaylani said. We wait. They climbed into the trees and took shelter in a thick branch area above ground. Liam wrapped a small blanket around Kaylani's shoulders. She leaned against him without hesitation. Her head rested gently on his shoulder. Do you think Orin can be saved? Liam asked. Kaylani closed her eyes. I have to believe it. He was my brother. He told me, I'll always protect you. But now I protect him from himself. Below, a shadow moved, The beast stepped into the clearing, sniffing the air. Liam held Kaylani closer. The creature growled, circled the ruins, then stopped. It turned its head slowly, as if sensing something. But then, just like before, it paused, confused, and backed away. Liam's scent had masked them again. Kaylani's hand clutched Liam's. When the time comes, I will need you beside me. Liam looked down at the beast disappearing into the trees. I'll be there. The jungle was still dark when Liam opened his eyes. The sky above was just beginning to lighten, the stars fading behind thin clouds. Kaylani was still resting beside him, her head on his shoulder. Her breathing was steady, but her hand was tightly holding his, even in sleep. Below them, the ruins were silent. The beast had not returned after sniffing the clearing and walking away, but Liam knew it wasn't over. Something in the air felt heavy, like a storm was coming, not one with rain and wind, but something older and more dangerous. Claire sat a few branches over, watching the tree line. She turned to Liam when she saw him stir. You think it'll come back tonight? She asked quietly. I do, Liam said. But next time, I don't think it'll. Just watch. Kaylani slowly sat up, rubbing her eyes. We don't have much time. He's remembering. Every time he smells your scent, it gets harder to confuse him. Liam frowned. What happens when he stops being confused? He'll see me, she said softly, and then he'll attack. Liam looked around. We need a plan. We can't keep hiding forever. Kaylani nodded. We can draw him closer. Use your scent to lead him. If he comes near me without knowing, I can begin the ritual. What ritual? Claire asked. Kaylani reached into her small pouch and pulled out a smooth stone marked with glowing lines. This is a soul stone. It holds a memory of him. If I speak the old words and touch him with it, it might remind him who he really is. Liam took a breath. And if it doesn't work, then we run, Kaylani said. They climbed down from the tree and began preparing. Claire placed motion sensors around the clearing and set small traps, just noisemakers, to warn them. Kaylani marked the ground with soft blue dust, spreading it in a circle. She said it would help focus the energy of the ritual. As night came, they waited near the ruins. Liam stood at the edge of the clearing, his clothes loose so his scent would spread farther. Kaylani sat in the center of the circle, eyes closed, holding the soul stone. The first growl came just after sunset, low, deep, close. Liam held his breath. From the shadows stepped the beast. Taller than any human, covered in rough, dark skin. Its arms were long, and its claws scraped the ground. Its face was not fully beast nor fully person-wisted, but hints of something familiar showed beneath. Its eyes locked on Liam. Liam stood still. His heart pounded. He didn't raise his weapon. He didn't run. The beast stepped closer, sniffing. It tilted its head. Confused again. Then it moved around him, toward the center of the circle, toward Kayla and I. Liam wanted to shout, but Kaylani opened her eyes and stood. Orin, she called, her voice calm. Orin, it's me. The beast froze. Kaylani stepped forward, holding the glowing soul stone in both hands. You are not this thing, she said. You are my brother. You promised to protect me. The beast growled and took a step back, shaking its head. Its claws dug into the ground. Liam didn't move, neither did Claire. Hidden behind the pillars with her scanner ready, Kaylani stepped into the blue dust circle. Orin, come back. Remember who you are. She held the soul stone out and touched the beast's chest. Light flared. The beast roared, loud and painful. The sound echoed through the jungle. Birds flew from trees. The ground shook. Liam stepped forward. Kaylani, the beast raised its claws, but it didn't strike. Instead, it grabbed its own head, like something inside was screaming. Then it fell to its knees. Kayla and I collapsed beside it, holding the stone close. Keep going, Liam said. Rushing to her side. She began to speak again, in her own language this time. Soft words, ancient words. The stone pulsed with light. The beast trembled. Claire watched through her scanner. His energy levels are shifting. Something's happening. A flash of white light spread across the clearing. When it faded, the beast was still. Kaylani reached out, touched its face. Orin, she whispered. The creature's eyes opened. The red glow was gone. Now they were soft gray, like hers. The twisted form began to shrink, slowly, painfully, and when it ended, a man lay on the ground tired, weak, but alive. Kla and I wept. "You're back." Liam stood silent, amazed. Claire lowered her scanner. She did it. But then the trees behind them shook again. Another growl. "Wait," Claire said, eyes wide. That's not him." They turned. Another shape appeared. In the shadows. Something bigger. Something worse. Liam stepped in front of Kaylani. "There's more than one." Kaylani looked up, fear returning to her face. No, the ruin didn't just curse Orrin. The trees shook harder this time. Whatever was coming, it wasn't like the first beast. Liam's heart raced as he stood in front of Kaylani, shielding her with his body. Claire stepped out from behind the stone pillars, weapon ready, her face tense and serious. From the shadows came a shape, bigger than Orrin had ever been. Its body was twisted like broken stone, with thick limbs and sharp claws. Its face was covered in dark armor like skin, and its eyes glowed not red but white, like burning ice. The new beast moved slowly, but every step shook the ground. "What is that?" Claire asked, barely above a whisper. Kaylani pulled herself up with Liam's help. Her voice trembled. "Not a person. Not like Orrin. That is the ruin's guardian." "Guardian," Liam said. "When someone enters the ruins and takes power," she explained, "the guardian wakes. It hunts anything that disturbs the old ways. And now it's here," Claire added, "because of us." Orrin was weak, lying beside the stone circle. He groaned but couldn't stand. Kaylani looked at him, then back at the creature. "It doesn't hunt by scent," she said quickly. "It sees life, light, movement." Liam looked around the clearing. "Can we outrun it?" Kaylani shook her head. "Not in the forest. It knows the land." But the light from the soul stone woke something in it. "It sees us now." The guardian gave a loud, deep growl. Then, without warning, it charged. Liam pulled Kaylani aside just in time. Claire fired her energy weapon, but it bounced off the guardian's thick skin. The beast swung its arm, knocking one of the stone pillars over like it was nothing. "Run!" Claire shouted. They ran into the jungle, carrying Orrin between them. His body was too weak to walk, so Liam threw his arm over his shoulder while Claire took the other side. Kaylani moved ahead, guiding the path. Behind them, trees fell and the growl grew louder. "It's not giving up," Liam said. "We need a place to hide." Claire yelled. "The cave," Kaylani shouted. "There's one near the river. It's narrow. The guardian is too big to enter." They changed direction, rushing downhill. Vines scratched their clothes, and roots tried to trip their feet. But they didn't stop, even when Liam stumbled. Even when Orrin moaned in pain, they kept moving. Finally, they reached the cave. A small crack in the rock face, hidden behind thick plants. Kaylani slipped in first. Liam and Claire helped Orrin inside. The opening was tight, but they all fit. The moment they were inside, the jungle shook again. The guardian crashed into the trees nearby, but it didn't see them right away. They held their breath as its footsteps slowed. Then silence. It had lost them. For now. Inside the cave, it was dark and cool. Liam lit a small handheld light. Kaylani helped Orrin lie down against the wall. He looked better, still weak, but his eyes were clearer now. "Kai," he whispered. I remember you." Kaylani smiled through her tears. "You came back." Liam sat beside them, breathing hard. Claire checked their supplies. "We can't stay here forever. It'll come back. Maybe with others." "There are no others," Kaylani said. "Just the guardian. But it is enough." Liam looked at the soul stone still glowing faintly in Kaylani's hand. "Can it work again?" She shook her head. "Not on the guardian. It has no memory to reach. No person inside to save." Liam thought quietly. "Then we need another way to stop it." Kaylani's eyes met his. "Maybe not stop, but lead it away." Liam understood. "You mean use my scent?" "Yes," she said. "You're still unknown to it. You could lure it far from this place." "And what happens to me?" Liam asked. "You need a place it can't follow. Something high, something strong." Claire tapped her scanner. There's an old tower to the west, maybe in our way. It's made of strong metal. If you can get inside, you might be safe. Liam nodded. Then that's the plan. Kaylani grabbed his hand. You don't have to do this. Liam gave her a calm smile. Yes, I do. I've seen enough people lose. Everything. Not this time. She stared at him, her voice low. You smell like safety to me. You make me feel calm. Liam squeezed her hand gently. And that's why I need to do this. Because you're worth protecting. Kaylani leaned forward and rested her forehead against his. Come back. I will, he said. I promise. Outside, the ground rumbled again. The Guardian had returned, and Liam was ready to face it. Liam stood at the cave's edge, the early morning light spilling through the vines. The ground still trembled slightly, a sign the Guardian wasn't far. Behind him, Kaylani gently helped her brother Orn sip water. Claire was checking her scanner again, trying to track the creature's movements. Liam tightened his boots and made sure his light gear was secured. He had a small patch of rations, a knife, his radio, and a flare beacon. The plan was simple: move fast, leave behind a strong scent trail, and lead the Guardian far away toward the old tower. Kaylani walked up to him, holding a small cloth. This will help. It carries your scent. Wave it when you need to keep its attention. He took it and placed it in his pocket. She didn't let go of his hand. Her eyes searched his face like she was trying to remember every part of it. Don't be a hero, she whispered. I'll just be Liam, he said with a small smile. That's enough. Before she could speak again, he leaned forward and gently pressed his forehead against hers. They stayed like that for a moment, breathing. The same air, silent. Then Liam pulled back and nodded. Watch over her, he told Claire. I will. Claire said, come back in one piece. Liam gave a quick wave and slipped out through the thick brush. His steps were light, but he made sure to brush against plants and trees, spreading his scent. Every now and then, he stopped to place a scrap of his shirt or rub the cloth Kaylani gave him against a branch. Within minutes, the jungle responded. The ground shook again, heavier now. Trees swayed, birds scattered, and then the growl. The Guardian had found his trail. Liam ran. He didn't look back. He focused only on the path ahead. Vines scratched his arms, roots tried to trip him, but he didn't stop. He jumped over fallen logs, slid down hills, and crossed a shallow stream. He could hear it behind him, breaking trees, crashing through everything in its path. Its roar shook the air like thunder, but it followed the trail Liam left behind, just as planned. After nearly 40 minutes, Liam saw the old tower, rusted but tall, made of metal and stone. It stood like a forgotten monument in the middle of the jungle. Its doors were broken, but the frame was strong. He ran inside and climbed the narrow stairs. Some parts were missing, others creaked, but he pushed on. By the time he reached the top floor, he could barely breathe. Sweat soaked his shirt. He dropped to his knees, gasping. The forest below shook again. The Guardian had arrived. It circled the tower, sniffing, growling. Liam leaned out the broken window and waved the cloth. Hey, up here. The creature looked up. Its eyes locked on him. It roared, louder than ever before. Then it charged. Liam stepped back. Please let this hold. The Guardian slammed into the tower. The whole structure shook. Metal creaked. Dust fell from above. Liam grabbed the nearest beam to stay balanced. Another hit. Then another. The tower leaned slightly, but it held. Liam activated the beacon, sending a signal back to Claire and Kaylani. It's here. I'm fine. It's staying close. Back at the cave. Kaylani saw the signal and closed her eyes in relief. He did it. Claire smiled. He bought us time. Now we must help him, Kaylani said. We can't leave him alone. What can we do? Kaylani held up the soul stone again. If we place this at the base of the tower, it may trap the Guardian. Not forever, but long enough. Claire helped carry Orn through the jungle while Kaylani led. The path was slower with him, but they moved quickly. At the tower, Liam was still holding on. The creature roared again and pounded the side, but cracks had begun to show in its armor. Liam noticed it was tiring. slow, angry, but confused. He realized something: the creature was strong, but not endless. It had limits. Then he saw them, Kaylani and Claire, stepping into the clearing. What are they doing? Kaylani dropped the soul stone into a small hollow at the tower's base and began to chant. Light spread through the ground. The Guardian paused, sensing something. It turned to them. No. Liam shouted. But as it took a step toward Kaylani, the light from the soul stone flared upward, creating a glowing ring around the tower. The Guardian roared and tried to move, but it was trapped inside the circle. Liam watched from above, his heart pounding. Kaylani looked up and smiled. You're safe now, the creature thrashed, but the glowing ring held. Liam sank to the floor of the tower, breathing hard. Thank you, the Guardian roared again, trapped within the glowing circle at the base of the tower. Its claws scratched at the ground, but the soul stone's light held strong. Inside the tower, Liam leaned against the metal wall, trying to catch his breath. The building was shaking slightly, but it didn't collapse. Not yet. Outside, Kaylani stood with her hands stretched toward the ring. Her eyes were focused, lips moving in a soft chant. The soul stone floated a few inches above the ground now, pulsing gently with light. Claire stood beside her, holding a scanner and watching the Guardian's energy slowly drop. How long can you hold it? Claire asked. Just a little more, Kaylani said. The stone needs time to settle the creature's mind. Does it even have a mind? Claire asked. Kaylani didn't answer. She just kept chanting. Inside the tower, Liam could feel something change. The roaring stopped. The creature growled, but it was softer now, confused, slow. He looked out through the cracked wall and saw it backing away from the ring. It lowered its head like it was listening to something. Then, a strange thing happened. The white glow in its eyes flickered. Liam whispered, "Is it remembering?" Below, Kaylani noticed it too. She stopped chanting, but the soul stone kept glowing on its own. The Guardian slowly walked in a circle inside the glowing barrier. It was no longer thrashing, no longer trying to destroy. Orin, still weak but awake, whispered, "It's not just a beast. Maybe it was once a guardian. Before the curse." Kaylani looked at him. "A protector, just like you were." Orin nodded. "I feel something, a memory inside it. Old, broken, but still there." Liam climbed down the tower slowly. When he reached the base, he stepped close to the glowing ring. Kaylani turned and ran to him, hugging him tightly. "You're back," she whispered. "You saved me," he said, resting his chin on her head. Claire smiled a little. "We all save each other." The Guardian stopped moving. Its head lowered. It didn't growl anymore. The white glow in its eyes faded. Slowly, it sank to the ground, lying still. Its breathing was deep but calm. "What now?" Liam asked. Kaylani looked at the soul stone. "It's sleeping. Not gone, but resting. It will stay inside the barrier, unless someone wakes it again. So we leave it here?" Claire asked. "Yes," Kaylani said. "And we mark the place. No one should return unless they know the truth." The group walked away from the tower slowly, helping Orin move step by step. The jungle behind them was quiet now. No roars, no shaking, just peace. When they returned to camp the next day, the others were shocked to see Orin alive and the rest unharmed. Captain Jules listened carefully as Liam and Kaylani explained everything: the ruins, the curse, the Guardian, and the soul stone. "You risked your life," Jules said to Liam. "That was brave." Liam looked at Kaylani, then nodded. "It was the right thing." A few days passed. Orin slowly recovered. He spent most of his time resting and watching the stars. Kaylani stayed close to Liam, always smiling when he was near. They shared quiet meals together and long walks through the trees. One night, as the campfire crackled softly, Kaylani sat beside Liam. Her head rested gently on his shoulder. "You still smell like safety," she said. Liam chuckled. "I think that's just sweat and jungle dirt." She smiled. "No, it's more. You make me feel calm, warm, like nothing bad can touch me when I'm near you." He looked down at her. "You know, when you first slipped into my tent, I thought you were crazy. I was desperate," she said softly. And something inside me just knew you would protect me. And you protected me too, he said. You saved me more than once. They stayed quiet for a while, listening to the soft sounds of the night. What happens next? Liam asked. Kailani thought for a moment. My people will return to the forest. We'll rebuild. But this time, we'll do it with help. Your kind and mine, together. And what about us? He asked. She reached up and gently touched his face. I want to stay with you, if you'll let me. Liam smiled and wrapped his arm around her. Then don't go. Stay. She curled up closer, her head resting on his chest, just like that. First night, I like it here, she whispered. Your scent still tames the beast. Liam laughed quietly, held her close, and looked up at the stars above them.